Say it with me, we're going to start seeing temps in the 60s. So we've come up with some things to help your spring fever on this week's Explore Tulsa. So let's start the show with pizza and gelato.
Then a new cruise around downtown.
Followed by a little action on the table.
Plus sprucing up the place.
Hi, I'm Stevie Fernandez.
And I'm Trish Whitmer. We are so happy to have you with us again for this week's Explore Tulsa.
You know, Trish, people are always asking me how or even why we even do Explore Tulsa.
I get that all the time too, and they always think that it costs money to be featured on the show.
Well, it's hard to believe, but when you find out that Ron, who's the owner of Video Revolution, and Dr. Robert Zellner are both two self-made guys who really believe in Tulsa and Tulsans, it's easy to understand that what Explore Tulsa is all about.
Right, it's just about helping Tulsans that are taking a chance to make this a great place for us all to live.
And we'd like to feature you too. Just send me an email to stevie@exploretulsa.com. And I know everybody'd rather talk to her, but you gotta talk to me first. And we'd be happy to come out and feature you on the show.
Just like we're about to do for the new STG Pizzeria and Gelateria at First in Detroit.
My business partners are my brother Jim Bausch and my good friend from high school and college, John Davey. We've all grew up around the restaurant industry, and we've owned Andolini's for 10 years now, and now our new concept is STG. STG stands for Specialty and Tradition Guaranteed. This is a term in Italy applied to the best pizza makers in all of the world, specifically Italy, making Napolitana pizza. This is exactly what you would get in Italy. Not kind of like it. This is the exact same oven, the exact same flour, the exact same olive oil, the exact same cheese, everything to the 9th degree, exactly the same. Once we decided on moving to Owasso and opening up a pizza restaurant, that's where we said, okay, this is what we already know, but we've learned so much in the last decade, and we always seek to learn more. And especially being on the World Pizza Champions and touring with the Americans and doing competitions in Italy and Las Vegas has taken our game up several notches. I come from a long line of Marines. My father was Lieutenant Colonel. My brother served, my nephew did 2 tours in Iraq. I went into Officer Candidate School in OCS, did that training, and I actually have juvenile type 1 diabetes. It's the reason that I'm not still in the Marine Corps, and the reason that we have Andolini's and STG. Coming from the Marine Corps as a background, or knowing what it takes to be in the Marines, there's a lot of misconceptions I think about the Marine Corps. It's very focused, it's very organized. It's also about being real at all times and not having ego and not being in love with what you do, and always improving and knowing that there's more that can be done. I think that's the biggest takeaway that we have with Andolini's is that we never rest on our laurels. We never say, oh, we're the best and there's that, because it's just not in us to do that. Restaurants do things differently. I think the best way I can describe it is some restaurants make the movie poster before they write the script. We seek to make a great pizza and then tie it into a grander thought. Andolini's is all things pizza. This is one very specific niche market of pizza, Napolitana pizza. It's a margarita done with the exact ingredients and specifications of what we've learned in the last 10 years. When I did these competitions and going to Naples, Parma, all over Rome and Florence, and seeing this pizza so prevailing in Italy, especially Naples. And when I had it, I was in love with it. And then I would come home and I couldn't get it. You can't just up and do it in any kitchen. You have to have the specific ingredients with the specific utensils, even all the way down to the equipment. The oven is made by a company and family known as Stefano Ferrara. They've been making ovens for 95 years now. Their ovens are done in a specific way to make just this one style of pizza. It's made with a dome where the fire is insulated so perfectly so it distributes the heat, but can hold up to 950 degrees, so we can cook a pizza in 90 seconds. On a transition from Andolini's, STG, where we're at now, we said, okay, let's take the line out of the situation. Let's let it just be a quick service option and have a really high-end gourmet experience, but do it quickly. Come up, order on a menu board, go sit down, and have a great date night, have a great family night. Or on the total flip side of that, for me personally, I know sometimes I'm going home, I just want to get some food, and the only options for me to get a meal in within 10 minutes are very limiting and not that healthy. And we were like, what would we want to eat if we only had 10 minutes? And this is exactly what I like to eat. We've always been very much in love with the customer as much as they hopefully like us. We want to have a great time with the customer. I mean, it's the dream. It's the dream of anyone that's ever worked in a restaurant, is to have their own place that people like going to.
I tell you what, Mike is a good guy to know. He hooked us up with some of those pizzas he made and the gelato too. Yummy, yum, yum, yum.
It all looks really good, but don't wait around for Stevie to bring you any. Visit them for yourself at their STG Pizzeria and Gelateria on 1st and South Detroit, or the Gelateria at 51st and South Sheridan.
Here's an idea. Take a Segway to their downtown locale. How fun would that be?
Believe it or not, that does sound like a pretty fun idea.
I got a million of them, Trish.
Let's check in with Amanda Harris at Tulsa Segway to see if she's ready to take us all out for gelato and a tour of downtown when we come back with more Explore Tulsa.
Introducing the DVR Plus from Channel Master, a truly unique HD DVR that delivers everything you want from subscription-free TV. With dual HD tuner technology and virtually unlimited storage capacity, the DVR Plus lets you enjoy the big game while recording your favorite broadcast show. And the DVR Plus lets you watch the most popular TV networks with the highest quality, crystal clear HD picture for free. Just connect an HD antenna and you're ready to go. Connect the DVR Plus to high-speed internet and get even more. Enjoy instant access to shows and movies not available on broadcast television. With the DVR Plus, watching subscription-free TV is easy. You can access your video-on-demand favorites and all your local broadcast channels in one intuitive guide. That's an industry first. Slim and stylish, the DVR Plus delivers everything you love about TV without the subscription.
Find your Channel Master today at Video Revolution.
Stevie from Explore Tulsa with my friend and optometrist for many years, Dr. Robert Zellner. Tell everybody why it's so good to come in to see you.
Well, that's a great question. Let's see, we've got 2 great locations. We try to stay cutting edge at every point along the way because let's face it, everybody wants to come in and get taken care of in a timely fashion and get the latest, greatest stuff and save some money and get on with their life. And see clearly.
And if you don't believe it, look on the website.
Absolutely, drzellner.com. You can find that we have our 2 locations at 69th and Memorial and 3030 South Harvard, or you can give us a call at 749-2020 or 461-2020.
And I got 4 kids, and I got to tell you, as a big family like that, it's affordable too.
Oh yes, and of course, the #1 reason, you save some money. I mean, with our 2-pair specials, with our different unique packages that we put together, I mean, you can come in here and your money can go a lot farther than anywhere else.
And that's why with Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates, seeing is believing.
Oh, I like that, Stevie. Well done.
Hello, and welcome back for more Explore Tulsa. Stevie, are you all set to ride a Segway through downtown?
Oh, you better believe it, Trish. I got my helmet, my most balanced shoes, and best of all, with a Segway, it makes me 10 inches tall.
Well, then let's go see Amanda and learn all about Tulsa Segway and touring Tulsa.
Well, when I first learned about the Segways, I ended up taking a vacation to Chicago, and we ended up riding around and taking one of their Segway tours, and it was just one of the most fun experiences that I've had. And so we came back home and we thought, you know, that was a blast, but we really didn't think anything about a business. And then we ended up going on vacation to Canyon City, Colorado. That was a really, really small town that also had a Segway tour business, so that's when we started thinking that maybe this would be something for Tulsa. So Segways work with, they have 5 gyroscopes inside and a circuit board. And all those gyroscopes are continually moving and continually adjusting depending on who's riding it. So the Segway is going to adjust differently to me versus you or versus anybody else. And that's what I think is the most awesome part about the technology, is that it's specific to whoever's on it. It reacts to whoever's on it. The best thing to compare it to is skiing. So if you've ever done water skiing or ever done snow skiing, very similar. You're shifting your weight, you're keeping your knees together, and you're just moving with it, and you're just flowing. You're just going with the flow. Oh man, who buys the Segway? We've had a gentleman from Kingfisher who does meter reading. And so he rides all over there, has the biggest route, and that's how he, that's what he does, is uses it for meter reading. We have another couple, and they actually took theirs to the beaches of Singapore, and they rode them all over Singapore. We've also worked with some local companies, you know, that are getting them for their maintenance departments or maybe for their leads on any projects. Because if you think about it, on a construction site, it's probably the best example. The gathering place, you know, there's a good mile, you know, that those guys are going back and forth. If you could use one of these right up there, you're there in a few minutes, come back and you're plugging it in. These cost 10 cents to charge. If you run that battery all the way down and then you plug it in, it's 10 cents to get it all the way back up. So you're talking about efficiency, you're talking about lower carbon footprints, and just green technology. Tours are really cool. What we do is we start here. We have an awesome park across the street, the Chapman Centennial Park. And what we'll do is we'll get everybody, we'll assign them their Segways, and we'll walk the Segways over to that park. At that point, we just kind of do a one-on-one training and really explain how the Segway moves. So for our Tulsa tour, we go all the way down to One Oak, we go to Guthrie Green, we go to the BOK with a beautiful view of the Brady Theater, going over the Boulder Bridge. And we just really hit the Blue Dome District and really just kind of want to show off Tulsa and show all the things that has happened downtown. I mean, we've really grown, and this is the perfect vehicle to get around and see all that. So far, we've had all ages. Our minimum age is 12 years old. Anyone younger than that, we would have them just ride in the park, so a secure area. But we have people all the way up to, I mean, I had my granddad on it, and he's almost 90 years old, you know. So, I mean, anybody, if you can walk, if you can balance, then you can ride a Segway. They are a balancing machine, so if you do have any foot problems or you do have any balancing problems, I would strongly suggest not riding one or owning one. I think the whole city is really set up for the Segways. A few years ago, they came through and they made all of the sidewalks ADA accessible. You know, so that enables us to get all over town without any issues. I just think that Tulsa's been waiting for it.
Cruising around those Segways is so much fun, and I was finally able to get across the street before the hands stopped blinking. Take that, walk sign.
Tulsa Segway is about to officially launch with a big grand opening on the first official day of spring, Friday, March 20th.
Then is going to be when you can get a free Segway lessons and plenty of other fun too.
So be sure and visit TulsaSegway.com to get all the details.
Well, until then, I'm going to be working on my game face.
And what game do you have in mind this time?
The game invented by my upper-class Brit friends that they referred to as Riff Raff and Flim Flam.
Then we're going to need to call in some experts to help you develop your table tennis skills. So coming up on Explore Tulsa, we'll meet the members of the Tulsa Table Tennis Club.
Ever since the first movie theaters opened in the early 1900s, man has been trying everything to bring that same experience home to enjoy with their families. And for more than 30 years, Video Revolution and their home entertainment experts have been making those dreams come true by designing custom home theater solutions for both in and outdoor use. From 1080p LEDs to the brand new Sony 4K flat panel TVs, or come in to see the latest in sound bars and surround sound setups. Always the top name brands are found at Video Revolution. That same electronic expertise we also apply to your business communications network, from boardroom automation to video wall presentations. No matter what technology the future holds, you can count on Video Revolution to be leading the way. Tulsa's headquarters for the best selection and installation of cutting-edge electronics. Video Revolution on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Give me some room, Trish, because we're about to get pretty involved with some serious table tennis action right here and now on Explore Tulsa.
Why did I ever think you could do this without going overboard?
So I have passion, Trish, like the Victorians at the end of the 19th century. Took their dining room tables and turned them into miniature tennis lawns to invent the game.
Table tennis has come a long way since then, Stevie. And in Tulsa, the guys in the know when it comes to today's game all play with the Tulsa Table Tennis Club.
Well, I started playing in about 1974. That's right after the ping pong diplomacy where the United States went to China for the first time. So table tennis got real popular in America, and I got caught up in that back then.
Oh, I enjoyed just keeping the ball in play and making the long rallies and stuff. That's always very enjoyable, you know. And watching the trajectory of the ball, it's always different and it's very fascinating.
I took up the game late. I was already in my, well into my 20s by that time. So I just try to be the best I can be. You know, go out and play my matches. If I win, that's great. If I lose, it's not a problem.
Well, the ultimate goal, especially when you're serving, is deception. So you're trying to deceive the other guy exactly how much spin's on the ball. It's really, it's a battle, you know. It's like you think you're playing it's like a duel between one person and the other, and you're trying to outwit the other guy and deceive him what you're actually doing with the ball.
The ball really spins a lot with the different types of surfaces that they use, and so trying to get used to all the different spins and the different styles is a kind of a real challenge. It's very difficult, but it's fun if you just learn how to play each player and develop a strategy against one. You just have to develop different strategies against everybody, and that's kind of the hard thing is to learn.
The reason that spin is possible is because the playing surface is elevated above the floor. Every player adapts to that spin differently. You know, some people end up being offensive players that top spin balls all the time. Some are like Ray, who plays a kind of a mixed game where he'll play defensively, but he will be able to hit offensive shots. Some people play defensive game all the time. And learning to adapt to that is the intellectual part of the game.
If you're playing at your best, you're playing without even thinking what you're doing. You basically switch over from your conscious mind to your subconscious. Like everything else, if you learn everything through the subconscious can take over because your conscious mind gets in the way and is slower. The subconscious is much faster.
I am the president of the club, and we have 2 clubs in Tulsa. And so the Bixby here is one, we have another one in Dawson. And so we play 3 times a week between the 3 clubs. And so it's pretty much as anybody wants to play.
Being able to test yourself against different styles is also a lot of fun. You know, to see, well, do I do better against a defensive player, or do I want to play somebody who's top spinning the ball at me all the time? Like I said, it just, you know, it engages the mind a little bit.
I like seeing a variety of people come out. I like to see people play and have a good time. I like it when people go to tournaments because it just helps our club and it helps the other clubs when we go because it gets them all excited to have a good group from Tulsa, go to Oklahoma City or to Springfield, and that sort of thing. Just the whole thing of everybody coming out is what I enjoy.
Ray is such a cool champion. Man, if I ever did anything great, I want to be like Ray.
Well, then you better start practicing. Visit TulsaTableTennis.com to learn when the club meets and find out about upcoming tournaments.
That sounds great, but before I can play, my wife says that I have to do something about all the sunlight coming through our windows.
Well, maybe you should call Stephen Caldwell at Awnings of Tulsa.
Better yet, I like to share. So I think that we should have him come up next when we come back with more Explore Tulsa.
At Video Revolution, our home entertainment experts have been designing custom home theater solutions for both in and outdoor use for over 30 years. From flat panel LED TVs to 4K projector systems, the top name brands are here at Video Revolution. That same electronic expertise we also apply to our business communications network, from boardroom automation to video wall presentations. Video Revolution, Tulsa's headquarters for the best selection and installation of cutting-edge technology.
Hello, I'm John Erling with Voices of Oklahoma. Our great state has been home to countless individuals whose place in history has been earned through each of their many accomplishments. Voices of Oklahoma's mission is to preserve their story in an oral history presentation like none other. Accounts direct from famous Oklahomans, political figures, and many others who have left their indelible mark on the development, history, and future of Oklahoma. So please, treat yourself by listening to those who are the voices of Oklahoma.
Now that we're getting a little sunshine, you might be thinking, how do I keep that stuff out of my eyes? And if so, then you'll be so glad you stuck around for more Explore Tulsa.
Awnings can protect you from the sun and have other practical purposes too, like help you save you on your electric bill.
Look good and help you save money? That sounds like every man's dream of the perfect woman.
You're really asking for it, Stevie. To prove that all Steves aren't bad, here's Stephen Caldwell from Awnings of Tulsa.
You know, I worked in the oil field and pretty much learned how to weld, and that was pretty much my training before I got into doing awnings. I learned to read blueprints and doing some welding. I wound up getting out of the oil field and coming to Tulsa to visit a buddy of mine who was working downtown at the DoubleTree years and years ago. And just for grins, I went down to the unemployment office just to see what kind of jobs were available. And they put me to work with a guy that had a small business that was looking to start fabricating his own awning frames instead of farming them out. And that's where I went to work for him and started building awning frames for him. And that was in '83. Years ago, people had awnings who didn't have air conditioning. Their awnings were their air conditioning. And nowadays it makes a little more fashion sense for a home to have an awning that does provide some shade, but is attractive as well. A lot of times in a commercial environment, they will want to shade their product, you know, from the intense, you know, a clothing store. They don't want their clothing or a fabric store or interior where they're selling furniture. They don't want that stuff deteriorating while it's on display. So they want some place to where maybe somebody can do some window shopping and stand there and not get wet or sunburn. The fabric is primarily our biggest supplier of fabric is Sunbrella, and it's an acrylic. It's a woven acrylic material. It replaced the cotton fabrics that used to be around years ago, and the acrylic fabric is by far a much superior material, being as it was developed for the marine industry years ago, and it did so well they crossed over into the awning market. But that fabric is very color fast, and it breathes, so any air that might get trapped up underneath a residential awning, heat will pass through that fabric. Leah takes care of setting appointments, quoting jobs, and doing renderings. And I have done sales on and off for years. And I'm doing the sales after the appointments are made. Once we make the sale, we'll get fabric ordered and a shop drawing for the guys in back. And they'll make a frame, and we will get measurements from those frame drawings to where when the fabric comes in, the girls here in this part of the shop will assemble a cover and sew it up. They fold it up until the guys are ready to do the install. The guys, well, we typically try to dress all of the manageable awnings here in the shop, and then we'll put them on a trailer and then haul them out to the job site to do an installation. Well, it's been very satisfying. You know, not every day can you come to work and build something from really stick aluminum and a roll of fabric and go out and install it and have people just ooh and ah all the time, and then they tell their friends. It's very satisfying to have your work all over town, really all over Oklahoma, and it will be there for years.
You know what I love most about Awnings of Tulsa? Everyone there really enjoyed working together.
And it shows in their work too. Visit awningsoftulsa.com to see for yourself.
You know, sometimes I could use a little awning about right here.
That would be called a ball cap.
Stick around, there's more Explore Tulsa just ahead.
Hi, Dr. Robert Zellner here. For over 20 years, I've offered affordable, convenient eye care in Tulsa. Right now, you can get one pair of glasses or contact lenses starting at just $99, or my two-pair deal for $129. Hey, and as always, the eye exam's included. Walk-ins are always welcome. Glasses are ready in about an hour. Plus, we have over 2,000 frames to choose from. We're open 7 days a week. Come see why we're voted Tulsa's best. And our drive-thru at 69th and Memorial makes pickup simple and easy. For the best eye care value in Tulsa, Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates.
Hi, I'm Terry Farrell here at Video Revolution, and I wanted to talk today a little bit about the new 4K TVs. TVs basically are made up of 1,080 lines of resolution. Each line of resolution has thousands of pixels. A 4K TV is basically doubling those lines of resolution from 1080p to 2160p. It almost quadruples the number of pixels, so we have a crisper, more detailed picture than we've ever had before. I mean, you think that regular high definition is good, and it is, but the 4K technology is that much better. The resolution is just incredible. 7 or 8 years ago, we would back people up 20 feet from a 70-inch TV for it to look good. Now you can literally sit 6 feet from a 70-inch TV, a 4K TV, and it just looks incredible. With competition between all the brands, the prices are falling. 8 months to a year ago, you almost paid double for the 4K technology. We carry the Sony, Samsung, Sharp, even have a big 84-inch LG 4K TV. If I was looking to do a custom home system, I would want to build it around a 4K TV because you don't want to have to be replacing something and be backwards in technology. You want to be set up for what's to come. 4K is the way to go, and this is the place here at Video Revolution to come and see a good demo.
Be sure and join us next week when we meet Ben Mayberry. He's the inventor of Paint Handy.
Special thanks to Mike for showing us around the new STG Pizzeria and Gelateria.
Well, thanks too to Amanda Harris for taking us out for a ride at Tulsa Segways, and we're looking forward to the grand opening March 20th. Thanks to Kelly Boyce, too, and his team at the Tulsa Table Tennis Club. Save a table for Trish here.
And to Stephen Caldwell for taking us behind the scenes at Awnings of Tulsa.
Remember, if you miss any of the show, you can always catch us at exploretulsa.com.
As always, each week we feature the people, places, and attractions that make us proud to call Tulsa our home.
Hey, don't forget to like us on Facebook. Share with us someone you think Tulsa should know more about.
Plus, remember, Explore Tulsa is brought to you by Video Revolution, located on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Stop by, say hello to Ron and all the guys for your home entertainment needs.
And Explore Tulsa is also proudly brought to you by Dr. Robert Zollner and Associates.
Home of the 2 pair for a $129 deal with 2 locations, 3030 South Harvard and 69th and Memorial.
Well, that's all the time we have for you on this week's show, but we'll see you next week right here on Explore Tulsa.